Welcome to Speaking Opera. My name is Howard Hart, and I'll be your host today in an interview done with the great soprano Renata Scotto. This interview was done on November 4th in 1981. I hope you enjoy it.
On October 3rd, when you performed all three roles in Puccini's Trittico, the question most often heard in the lobby of the Metropolitan was, how can she sing these three very different roles with such varying color and vocal line, and bring such dimension to these roles? What is the secret?
I don't think there is any secret. It's just that I feel challenged to be able to change a character from Tabarro, Angelica, and Gianni Schicchi, and to be able to do in one evening, which did not happen very often. I mean, you have one opera, one character, and this you have opportunity to do three. Of course, it's very difficult because perhaps Giorgetta and Angelica are so much different, in the, of course, first in the character, but also in the sound that you have to give, in the way, in the mood. So when the curtain goes down in Tabarro, also the curtain goes down in my face, and in 20 minutes I have to completely open my face in another kind of mood, and it's really very hard, but I like it very much. And of course, you know, I always like Puccini very much. I think that Puccini has always, his character are so human, so close to everyday peoples that they live, and the character of Puccini, they're so close to what we do every day. First he wrote Tabarro, and he thought to have one soprano to sing at least two roles, maybe Giorgetta and Schicchi, or Angelica and Schicchi. But I think because he wrote Tabarro much, I mean, at least 2 years before, then he wrote Angelica and Schicchi. So I think maybe Puccini would like to have one soprano sing all the three characters. And so I'm very happy I did.
You're the only soprano ever at the Met to have sung all three parts.
Yes. And I really like it very much. I like to act. So Tabarro gave me the opportunity to be a singer actress, and then Angelica had to give me the opportunity to act, but especially to be a singer. And of course, Lauretta is the spirit of the youth and the beginning of a great a period, which is the Renaissance. And Lauretta, she's the symbol of Renaissance. That's why I like.
Turning to the other composer that you're very much closely associated with, Verdi, Lady Macbeth brought you tremendous success both at Covent Garden with Riccardo Muti, and also this year in 1981 at Ravinia in the opening of Ravinia with James Levine in the concert version. Do you feel that working with two different conductors like this, who are very, very different in their approach, that your interpretation will change when you sing it this year at the Metropolitan?
You know, I think it's very important to work with great conductor. And of course, every conductor, when I'm talking about great conductor, they have their own feeling, their own preparation, of course, their own interpretation, which has to collaborate with mine. And when we're talking about great conductor, like what we just mentioned, and then there are also others, there's no problems, because the music comes first, and we understand each other very well, and there's no absolutely problem. And when I did Macbeth in Covent Garden, was for me a great experience, one of the most great experience in my career. First, because the character of Lady Macbeth, I mean, needs really a long experience on stage to be able to portray a character like Lady Macbeth and be able to sing that, to take a long time of preparation in technique, Verdi, especially Verdi technique. And Verdi is one of the most difficult composers because Verdi wants a soprano. It doesn't separate, so lyric, dramatic, coloratura. It asks a soprano, and that's all. And that's why it's a very difficult, because you have a long tessitura, long range, and the voice has to go to a pianissimo, to a very loud and strong, and you have a coloratura, then you have a phrase where you have to express with the line and everything. So also Lady Macbeth has all of this, and the difficulties in Lady Macbeth is to portray the character as it is, act like an actress, and sing all the notes that Verdi wrote, and there are many, and change from perhaps the first scene, which is a very strong cavaletta, powerful aria, to a sleepwalking scene where Lady Macbeth, she's almost dead, and the voice has to find special sounds, almost with I don't want to say no vibrato, but with a special kind of sound, and it's just to follow the score of Verdi to find that. So Macbeth took me 1 year to prepare the character, and then another 6 months to prepare a musical. And it was a great experience in Covent Garden on stage, and then in Ravinia. And I hope next year when we do it the Met.
Well, considering the reviews you got for both Ravinia and Covent Garden, I'm sure we'll all be very excited.
The bloody Lady Macbeth. I love that. Manon Lescaut, it's a great character, because Manon Lescaut, I read the book, it's very nice when you have the possibility in preparing a character to first maybe read, if you have a book, read the book and really understand the meaning of the character, of every face, every little detail of this character. Then you go in the music, and the composer always is very much close to the writer when we have a book. Or if there is a play, or if there is an historic drama, then perhaps when I did Don Carlo, or when I did, so there are many other roles that they had to deal with history. Then I read about, so, and to be prepared. And Manon Lescaut, I did the same. I read the book many, many times. So I find out that the conventionally was singing only, because it's a very difficult score. It's very difficult to sing and act like a young 15 years old girl that jump to a place, to another, to a man, to another, and make fun of everybody, and enjoy the life, and sing. This is very difficult. But to make believable the character, you have to work and to do it like this. Otherwise, it's better to not do it. But of course, it is one way, my way. Maybe there is other ways that are also very good. I don't mind, but I'm thinking of my own way.
It was very special. Your operatic debut at the age of 17 was in Violetta, in Traviata,
Yeah.
Verdi's Traviata.
Yeah.
You recorded Violetta for DG, Deutsche Grammophon, and there will be a new recording, apparently to be released very shortly, of Traviata, your second recording.
Yes.
How do you feel, that you've changed as Violetta dramatically and so forth?
It is very difficult always to do a second recording of the same opera. I did with Butterfly, with Bohème, with Rigoletto, and always I try to make something different, because it has to be like this, otherwise there's no way to do a second version, a second record. So with Traviata was much more important and interesting to do a second one, because when I did the first one, I did the recording with Maestro Antonino Votto, which I loved him very much, was one of my first teacher and great conductor. I was in Italy, and I had Violetta inside of me, but not completely. I had the voice, of course, to sing and to understand the character, but with a little bit of some other interpretation, the influence of some other interpretation, especially in Italy. Some tradition, especially to put some extra notes, which was a period of tradition to put extra note to make an effect. And I did with the first recording, like to put an E flat in the end of a cabaletta, to change cadenza after the first aria, to do cuts. So I did in real traditional way, with my interpretation that I think is a very beautiful recording, but not completely myself, Renata Scotto, involved with the character of Violetta, which is a great character. And also we have a book which says who is Violetta, and I mean the character of this great woman that she had a kind of life that she the moment she finally find the man who is able to love her and to give the real pure love to her, she becomes another woman. She can sacrifice her life to give him another kind of life, which, I mean, the story it's a purification of a woman that she made a lot of sin, and she understands and she sacrifices, she purifies herself. And that is fantastic how Verdi put in the music. So in the second version of my record, I did all those things. I took off all tradition, extra notes. I did the complete version with no cuts, the cadenza that Verdi wrote, and especially I took care to give the inside character of Violetta. So it was a very hard work, but I'm happy I did, especially with the conductor that understood me and helped me a lot to do that. I hope the record will be good and people will like it, because it's not yet released.
It should be out shortly, though.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. It's with Riccardo Muti.
Yes, Alfredo Kraus and Renato Brusoni.
You've performed Berta in Le Prophète, Michael in Carmen, Gounod's Faust and his Baucis, which is a fabulous little opera, Baucis in Philemon, and also Manon by Massenet. these roles are in the French repertoire. Are you looking again to go back into that repertoire?
Yes, I like very much the French repertoire. I didn't have too many opportunities to sing many of the French operas, but of course I'm looking to do again Manon, because I think that after I did Puccini Manon, I feel a little bit nostalgic about Massenet Manon. I want to do again, and I'm looking of some other character, and especially one which I love very much, and I would like to do very soon. This is maybe surprise to you, because I never said this to anybody, but my dream is to do sometime Carmen.
You've never mentioned that to me before.
No, and I never mentioned to anybody. So.
This is an announcement to New York City and the world.
I don't know, but Carmen is in my project, in my mind, and there is a version that Bizet wrote for soprano, so I don't want to sing the mezzo version, which the first interpreter of Carmen was a soprano. So I really like very much this character. It's a little more. It's the character of Manon. We can put a little bit close to Manon character, of course, with more wild character. I mean, it's different. I know I cannot explain it, but this is in my next project. And of course, there are other opera. I'm looking also to another Massenet opera, Sappho, which is also a very good, very, very good opera. And then, so I'm very much interested in French repertoire. And don't forget, in all my recitals, always I have some French composers, and I always sing French, because I think it's very beautiful and very good for voice too. I'm very much looking to sing also Mozart, but Mozart, the most beautiful thing he wrote are in Italian, and I want very much to sing Mozart. And I only sang a few times, but especially I sing Mozart in concert, but opera, I would like to go back and sing again Don Giovanni, I did already, and maybe not the Figaro or
And Giovanni, are you more interested in Anna or Elvira?
Elvira.
Elvira.
Oh, yes, I like the character of Elvira.
Are there any Verdi or Puccini roles that you feel you must do? That
Verdi, there's many, and I'm also the early Verdi. And about Puccini, I would like very much to sing the girl of the Golden West.
Right.
La fanciulla dell'Ouest. and other composers like the Verismo, yes, I'm also looking to sing Francesca da Rimini, which is also a very beautiful character, and Fedora. And there is another opera which I'm looking very, very soon to sing, and it is Valli, which is very, very beautiful. Catalani. Catalani is a composer that is so great, so I think it is not appreciated as it should be, because especially in the last 10 or 15 years it was almost completely forgotten. And so that's why I would like to sing Valli, which I think is a great opera also for a great conductor.
On your Christmas record, which I love very much, I must say, you sing from the Messiah, and you sing a wonderful carol by Corigliano, which I enjoy very much. Wonderful. And it's very contemporary. And, you know, I was thinking while I was listening to the recording, would you ever be tempted to sing oratorio or anything outside of the opera world? Does that appeal to you at all?
You see, it's a matter of time because I'm always so much busy doing performance and recital, and my schedule is already completely full. Thank you very much. It's completely full until 84, 85. So if I have time, I would like very much to do some like Messiah, complete Messiah. But I enjoyed very much to do the Christmas album and to sing those songs that are always here in the Christmas time, you know. And I enjoyed very much to do, especially in St. Patrick with the chorus. So I enjoyed to do the songs that I heard for many, many, many times. And I hope people, they like and maybe forget my English if there's some Italian accent. So listen only the music and don't care about
your English is clearer on that record than some English singers and American singers that I know.
Thank you. That's
true.
Thank you.
The bagpipe arrangement was really charming. Also, I hadn't thought
the arrangement have been, as you know, by John Grady, which is the music director of St. Patrick Cathedral, and he did the arrangement, and I really like it very much. Also, we did the Cantique of Noël in original, in French, which always they have in American, but I did in French because I thought it was much better to do in original version.
Well, it's certainly an international recording because it's German, English, French, and Italian.
Yes, and Italian. And there is a beautiful song. I wanted to do this song in Italian because it reminds me when I was a very little girl, and my mother used to sing for me that song, Tu scendi dalle stelle. And when I sang, first thing I thought, this I dedicate to my mother. And I sent the recording to my mother and I said, listen, mommy, this you sang for me, now I sing for you. Now I sing for you. And I think it's a very beautiful song.
I'd like to thank you very much for giving us your time. I know you were very busy with your concert at the UN, at the Metropolitan, and we've enjoyed very much being with you today, and thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much. I hope you watch television on the 14th of November. The Trittico will be telecast, so I'm a little bit, nervous because I'm going in front of 1 million people, but I take care. I hope.
We'll all be watching.
Thank you.
And you'll be singing also Vespri this year?
Yes.
And Musetta.
Yes, which also will be telecast.
So we'll be seeing you. Everyone will be seeing you on television at least twice this year, and hopefully faithfully coming to the Metropolitan Theater performance.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed our interview today with the great soprano Renata Scotto. For more information on this interview and upcoming interviews, please check our website at speakingopera.com.